This year alone, there have been more than 180 cash-in-transit heists around the country. Yesterday, part of the South African Police Service's multi-disciplinary teams operating in the Free State and Eastern Cape, they confirmed the latest arrest of 4 alleged cash-in-transit robbers. To further assist the fight against and to prevent cash-in-transit heists, a high-tech protection system, the polyurethane foam dispensing unit, known as PUDU, and the cash defender system were introduced this week by AllCash Technologies. Their marketing director, Phillip joins us in studio to tell us a little bit more about this. Phillip, good to have you in studio. Thanks so much for coming in.
Nice to be here.
Okay, so these new technologies that are being introduced, have they never been used by our cash-in-transit vehicles and services before?
No, absolutely. AllCash Technologies have been around for many years. We've been supplying the cash-in-transit industry and the commercial bank industry with intelligent cash protection devices for the past 25 years. So yes, they are being used widely, but they could be used more widely. The systems are very intelligent to detect when they are being attacked, and they can destruct or encase the assets to prevent it from being stolen.
Okay, so as it stands now, I mean, we talk about these figures, 180 cash-in-transit heists just this year alone. What does, I mean, the cash that has been stolen and the vehicles that have been transported in, I mean, have they been equipped with any of these safety devices that we're going to be looking at this morning?
Sure.
Or is this a new introduction that now we're trying really hard to try and ensure that if they do get attacked, they cannot use this money?
Many of the cash-in-transit companies are using it, so all the key cash-in-transit companies are using them. Not all of them are being used. The system is available. The extensive tests we have done have proven that this technology works really well, especially to deter attacks on the vehicles by using explosives. And yeah, we have something here that really can deter and protect these people's lives, most importantly, because our motto at AllCash is all about protecting lives, protecting cash.
Okay, so let's talk about the actual technology that's in place now, particularly the polyurethane foam dispensing unit, or UDU.
PUDU, P-U-D-U.
Oh, is it P? Was it P-U-D-U?
So polyurethane dispensing unit.
Okay, brilliant.
Right.
So we'll correct that there. So obviously it's this big loaf of bread that's sitting in front of me.
Okay, so how the system, I can't divulge too much information, obvious reasons, but how the system works is it is installed inside the vehicle vault area, and it consists of 2 chemicals that when the system is activated, and the system can be activated by means of either the driver or the crewman can trigger the system.
Yeah.
If the vehicle is shot at, we have a ballistic detect layer, so it'll immediately activate the system if the vehicle is under attack.
Yeah.
If the vehicle is rammed off the road, so if it's capsized, it will activate. And more importantly, there's no dependency on the crewman to activate the system, because what can happen is the guards are often under duress, and in that moment, they naturally would be reluctant to activate the system.
Yeah.
So what happens is these 2 chemicals, under the activation, it will activate, and a chemical reaction is created that envelops all the cash contents inside the vehicle vault area in a solid block of that polyurethane foam.
Yeah.
So to put things in perspective, that little sample there is only half a teacup of the combination of chemicals.
Wow.
So we basically encapsulate the entire vault area, which is about 4 cubic meters, with a solid block of polyurethane foam, and that hardens within minutes, a few minutes.
And I mean, so to try and break through this is...
You have to chip away for days.
Okay.
It takes a long time to get. But most importantly, the tests that we've done and the successes we've had is that the system, when the vehicle is under a blast attack, so when they place explosives on the vehicle, the foam absorbs the shock wave and it keeps the vehicle intact, making it impossible for criminals to gain access to the cash.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, there's actually a piece of newspaper stuck at the bottom of this. So, I mean, if this sticks to money and you try and peel it off, I mean, that's kind of what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You're just going to rip this.
Correct.
You're going to rip it to shreds. They're not going to be able to use this. So this is one technology that will go. This will just basically fill the whole back of the truck up.
Correct.
And I mean, in terms of explosives, though, I mean, if you explode, will this react to it?
Absolutely. It absorbs the shock of the explosives, and it keeps the vehicle intact, which is the most important part, because the criminal operations, basically, if they can gain access to open up that vault area of the armoured vehicle, they gain access to all the bags of money. And this system prevents the vehicle from being accessed by using explosives. Okay. And it works really, really well.
Yeah. So that's the one technology. There's another technology that you've got that is found in the vaults as well, where it will put dye onto the money.
Well, it's actually it's a different device. Yeah. So we refer to them as cross pavement carriers. So these are the devices that gets used by all the major CIT companies and small independent cash and transit companies, and that's typically to move retail cash. So when a cash and transit company collects cash from a retailer or delivers cash to a retailer or to a commercial bank branch for ATM replenishments, the cash contents are put inside one of our devices, and if the guard is held up and the box or that device is taken from him, then the device is intelligent enough to know that it's under attack, and it'll destroy the contents of the box, all the cash contents of that box, with an indelible ink, which makes the cash unusable.
Yeah, it's in front of you there. And if you want to hand me one.
So this is typically what a stained note would look like. Okay. So the mantra that we have to adopt in this country is that a stained note is a stolen note, and that is unacceptable to use. Yeah,
so I mean, that's pretty much so. You can't. I mean, once it's got the stain on, you cannot use it, and it's useless to anybody that wants to come in and use this stuff.
Correct.
So this is something, I mean, this is readily available, but my question to you is, again, has it been adopted by the people that are transporting the cash?
Absolutely, but it's not regulated.
Okay.
So which means that the regulation around using intelligent devices is something that we are working really hard with the South African Reserve Bank and with the key role players in the industry, with the cash and transit companies. But it's a really, really sensitive topic, because at the end of the day, there's a cost involved in these devices and this technology. And we urge the various cash and transit companies and all the role players, and we have been speaking to them, and they know that this is the way to protect their people and to protect the money, inevitably, but most importantly, to protect these poor guards who are in the firing line every day.
Yeah, and they really are. I mean, that's the reality. So in terms of technology like this being used around the world, I mean, surely we're not the only country in the world that are very vulnerable and transport our cash this way. Yeah. Do other countries, how do they protect their cash? I mean, do we have one of the highest rates of cash and transit heists around the world?
Definitely. These devices are used around the globe. Some countries do not permit that their national currencies, that the notes get degraded. So many African countries don't use ink dye stain in particular. Okay. But the system, this polyurethane dispensing system, the PUDU system, does not physically destroy the cash. It merely encapsulates the cash. Yeah. So you can retrieve it at a later stage. Where our other devices destroy the cash, as you can see on those notes. Yeah. But there are definitely regulation in place. And in Europe, large parts of Europe, they've implemented regulation action to enforce the protection of intelligent cash protection devices to protect ATMs, for example. So in France, legislation was passed that all ATMs, or all high-risk ATMs, had to be deployed with an intelligent system that can destroy the cash, or the prize, call it that, in the event of an attack.
Yeah. So I mean, this is something that's been adopted around the world, and yet we might be very, very slow on the uptake. Have you had meetings with government? Are they interested? Is this
Absolutely.
something we could see happening
Absolutely.
very soon?
Absolutely. It's an ongoing thing, and we are working hard with government and with police, and as I mentioned, with our partners, because the cash and transit companies and the commercial banks in this country are our partners, and we work with them, and we have been doing that for 25 years.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, we're definitely working with them, and we have advanced this technology. It's been around for some time. It's being used, but it could be more widely used.
Yes, I think that's the key here, is that
Correct.
if it is regulated, it would be enforced that every single vehicle has this.
Correct.
Because can I assume that some vehicles do have it?
Absolutely.
I mean, obviously we're not going to talk about which ones, because I mean, I know what we're talking about is very, very sensitive.
Sure.
But as it stands right now, there are some vehicles in the country that do use these.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But not the ones that destroy the cash.
Both.
So both of them?
Both of them, correct.
Okay, okay.
Correct.
But the idea is to try and get this regulated, that it is enforced in every vehicle. So your kind of guys that want to hold up these vans know that.
Remove the prize. Remove the prize and let the criminals go elsewhere.
Yeah.
And and that's our objective, is to remove the fear that you have when you drive up behind or next or in front of one of these cash and transit vehicles. It's not pleasant, and we want to stop that.
Yeah.
That is our aim. And a stained note is a stolen note. That is the mantra we want to get across, and the publicity around that is where we feel we have to do all the work.
Well, good luck. Thank you for coming and showing us this technology. Very, very fascinating, I must say, especially this. I mean, this is something I've never really seen before, where it engulfs the cash. You cannot get into it, and that's something where if you do use this, you have to break away and chip away for days to get back to the cash. So this is really, really interesting. Good luck. Thanks for coming and chatting to us. Let us know what you think. What do you think of these technologies? I mean, it's something that, can save lives as well as stop these cash and transit heists that are happening far too often in South Africa and on our roads. Phillip, Sales and Marketing Director for AllCash Technologies, talking to us here on the program.